What's up, guys? This is That One Apple Guy back at it again with another phone collection video. So I did just count, and I have 74 phones exactly. There's one missing right here, which is what I'm recording on. It's my brand new iPhone 13, 128 gig straight talk. Okay, that is it right there. I just got that speaking case. I absolutely love it. So, anyways, let's go over there. It's gonna take me a while. By the way, hopefully this video gets some good views. Look at all these phones. Because it literally takes me like 4 to 6 hours to set this up. It already took me like about 3 to 4 hours to, charge all these because they were mostly dead. So, I'm going to have to go over there. I won't reach. Okay, the first device is an iPod Touch 4th Gen. Let me go ahead and get this a wipe down here. I got a cloth. Okay, there we go. Looks brand new. iPod Touch 4th Gen, pretty good condition. Like, usually these backs are so scratched up that you can't see. You can actually kind of see, a reflection on this. It's in pretty good condition, a little bit scratched up, but you do have your camera and stuff like that. It is an 8 gig model. This is great condition. The front's in great condition. It's running iOS 6.1.6, which you can probably not see. Let me go ahead and turn this brightness down. There we go. Yep, 6.1.6, 8 gigabyte. So, very, very nice. How do I do this? I forgot how to do this. Okay, like that. No Siri on this guy. It's so old and nostalgic. But, like, look at this. Slide to unlock. Look at this old camera. Like, it's just so nostalgic. If I can get to this. There was no control center. Do we even have... Yeah, we had notifications, but that's about it. No control center. So there's that. Next up, this is an iPhone 5S. I had to get rid of my 5 because it was broke. Fully functional here. Pretty good condition. It does have a case mark, but overall not too bad condition. Some scratching towards the ports. But screen's in pretty good condition. This was running iOS 11. I regret it, but I updated it to iOS 12 just because iOS 11 is so unstable. And it's running iOS 12.5.7. And I don't think battery health shows up for some reason. No, it doesn't. But, yeah, this one's a 16 gig. So, not too bad. Forgot what it's locked to, but I think it's locked to something unless it's unlocked. This is an iPhone 6. It's in very good condition. Not too bad. There's like a single scratch on the screen, and it's in really good condition. I did end up putting a screen protector on this. I've had this since it came out, which is kind of funny. It does have an update, but it's running iOS 12.5.6. And it is a 32 gig. And the battery health is very good at 98%. I kept this phone in pristine condition. Very nice. This is an iPod Touch 6th generation in blue. It's in pretty good condition front and back, but the battery's toast on it, and it's super hard to, fix these because it's an iPod. But overall, pretty good condition. I got this a while ago for like $80 on eBay. It's running iOS 12.5.7, and it is a 32 gig model, so I believe that's upgraded from like 16, and there's no battery health on this. Yeah, kind of crappy. I wanted to sell it, nobody would buy it, and I'm not going to break it because it's still pretty nice. This is an iPhone 6S that I just bought. It's in kind of good condition, a little bit of scuffs. But it has a replaced screen, and it's a shitty screen, and I didn't know that. It does not go bright at all. But overall, I'm still kind of rocking this a little bit, kind of using it. The screen's terrible, though. Look at the viewing angles. Terrible. And it's like 480p. It's really not a good screen. The colors are all off. But anyway, still really good phone. It's replaced with a different battery, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's running iOS 15.8.4. And this is cool. So it's a 64 gig. So these came with 16, and this is like upgraded twice. So I didn't know that when I was buying it. That's kind of cool. I didn't state that in my video. It's a 64 gig, so that's kind of making it worth it. And it is 100% battery health because he said he did replace the battery. I'm not sure if it's a cheap one or not, but I know the screen's cheap, so I'm guessing the battery he puts cheap also. But I'm going to actually keep this one on. And I'm going to be using it later. This is an iPhone SE first gen 2016. It's in kind of good condition. Pretty scratched up. But it's my first ever main phone. And I got it back in 2017. I made it for about a year or two. Worked great. It's running iOS 15.7.8. Where's storage? Right there. It is a 32 gig, so this one's also upgraded once. It came with 16, the original one, but this one's a 32, so that's kind of cool. Because I couldn't live with... Honestly, I don't know who could live with 16 even back in the day. And 100% battery health, because I did replace this one with a very good... It's an aftermarket, but it's in... I don't know how to pronounce it. Ampetrix or something. It's what Phone Repair Guru uses. They're very high-quality batteries. So, cool. Next, this is an iPhone 7. Oh, by the way, the 6 is Straight Talk. 5S, I believe, is Boost. The 6S is... I forget what the 6S is. And then the SE is unlocked. This one, I believe, is Boost. I'm not sure. But this is an iPhone 7. It's in kind of good condition. Pretty good for an iPhone 7. These usually have a lot of dents. This one has a couple, but not too terrible. It's space gray. Or whatever, space black or something. It is running iOS 15.8.4. And get out of there. It is a 32 gigabyte, which I believe is the base model. And it has 93% battery health. So really good battery health for an iPhone 7. Absolutely love this phone. I don't believe it's ever been opened and sealed in there good. It has some case mark, but other than that, very nice phone. Next up, this is an iPhone 11. It's in pretty good condition. The screen's not in as good as condition, but it's still pretty good. This one's locked to Straight Talk. I bought this, I think, a year after it came out, or 2021 or something. It's running iOS 26 beta. This is the developer beta something. I gotta update it, but I think it's developer beta 6. It is a 64 gig, so the base model. And it has 95% battery health. So pretty good battery health. Pretty good phone, to be honest. I just don't use it enough. This is an iPhone SE 2nd gen. This one is in the... I think it's just called black color. Look at all the cases. But this one's Straight Talk also. And it is on iOS 18. I regret it, but it was on iOS 16. Now I upgraded it to 18, but whatever. It has 64 gigs of storage, and in battery health, 97% battery health. So really good battery health on this guy also. And it's in mint condition. This is my iPhone SE 2nd gen, and yeah. So, little story behind this. This is my recording phone, or what I use as my recording phone. I had this since 2020. It's locked to Straight Talk. And then it was on the kitchen island. And yeah. Picked it up, toppled, right in the kitchen floor, and completely shattered. Now, screen protector didn't do any justice. The screen protector is not cracked at all. The freaking whole screen is, though. The whole screen shattered. So, yeah, it must have been about ready to shatter because the screen was in terrible condition. And it's in fair condition. It's pretty scratched up, but man, I was pissed. But you'll see in the next phone I bought a copy of it. So, but this one, iOS 26 beta. I believe it's public beta or developer. I don't remember. It is a 64 gig, and you can see it's almost all full because this is what I record on, frankly. And 64 gigs is kind of hard to record on, so yeah. 89% battery health, so not the greatest, but not the worst in the world. I'm going to keep this one on. So, yeah. And I'm gonna have to move over there. This is the copy. This one is in excellent condition. And I've been using it a little bit. I want to use this one as my new recording phone now. Blur that. It's running iOS 26 public beta. 64 gigs of storage. And moment of truth, 93% battery health. So a little bit more than this guy. Very excellent condition too, and it's locked to consumer cellular. Oh, why am I trying to turn it off? So that's really nice phone. I'm gonna actually take the case and put it on it because it's not this one. Which one is it? Which one is it, guys? This one. It's the newer one. Bam. And again, this is my iPhone 13. After that, we have an iPhone SE 3rd Gen. This one has the D-Brain case on it. And I used to have two more, but I sold one and I broke one because the other one was messed. Running iOS 18.3.1. 64 gigs of storage. How do I get out of here? And 100% battery health, so it's barely been used. This one's locked to Straight Talk. That's just a screen protector that's cracked, by the way. This is an iPhone 15 Pro in blue titanium. This was my old main phone. I, again, should use this more than I actually don't use this thing. I should use it more. It's a very nice phone. I have a visible eSIM on it, but it's about to expire. It's that free 15-day thing. I tried it out. Works very well. I might switch to visible and switch to this phone. Oh, that's dirty. I might switch back to this phone. I'm going to be honest. It's a really nice phone, so blur that, but I might. It has 90% battery health, so it's going to need a replacement pretty soon. And it's running iOS 26 beta. And I'm going to actually update it right now if I can. Let's turn on Wi-Fi. Yeah, it does have a new beta. Boom. Okay, and yeah, 128 gig, fully unlocked. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Marvelous piece of technology there. Okay, next up. Moving along to Motorola's here. This is a Moto G5 Plus, I believe. Let's go ahead and turn this down. It's in pretty good condition. I don't know what it's locked to, but it's missing the SIM card tray. But overall, not terrible condition. I got this in a phone lot. I broke the other two phones, to be honest. But it's a 64 gig, which I don't know what these things come with, but I feel like that's upgraded. Pretty good. And it's running Android 8.1.0. So, not terrible. This thing has 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. So, again, feel it's upgraded. 1080p screen, pretty good. Snapdragon 625. Next up, this is a Moto E5 Play. This was my second main phone after I upgraded from that SE right there. I feel that wasn't an upgrade at all. How do I unlock this? I don't know. Oh, whatever. So, yeah, it's in pretty good condition for me maining it. And I got so pissed at this phone. It was so slow. I had to reset it sometimes because it stopped working. 16 gigs of storage, too, was very hard to deal with. And Android 8.0.0. Terrible, terrible phone. Let's see here. 2 gigs of RAM. Again, 16 gigs storage. 720p. Snapdragon 425. So, very bad phone. Next up, Moto G6 Play. This was my dad's old main phone when at the time I had my Moto E5 Play. This one, pretty bad condition, has some case marks, and the back's kind of coming off. Headphone jack don't work, but overall still works. He hated his phone also. This phone was very slow, even though it has a great design. Because, in part, the 16 gigs of storage is bad, and this one actually has an upgraded OS, though. with Android 9. April 1st, 2020 security patch. It's kind of old. And 2 gigs of RAM, 720p screen, and Snapdragon 427. So it really wasn't too much better than the E5 Play. And in some cases, it's slower because it has a newer OS. This is the Moto G6. By the way, these two are unlocked. This is a Moto G6. This one's Straight Talk. I got this on eBay for 18 bucks. Super good deal. It's in absolutely mint condition. There's not a single scratch on this phone. Let's go and look at this. This is a 32 gig. 32 gig. This phone, I feel, is even slower than that one. As you can see, it's not even loading storage, but it's a 32 gig Android 9. Cool. Let's see how much RAM, because I actually forgot. 3 gigs of RAM this time. That's kind of cool. And Snapdragon 450. So, pretty bad phone overall. Next up, this is a Moto E6. This one's in pretty bad condition here. It has, your typical scratches and scrapes. This one has a Straight Talk backplate, but it's actually a US Cellular model. So, that's that. It is a 16 gig Android 9. This is running on a Snapdragon 435 and 2 gigabytes of RAM. So, pretty shitty. Just going to tell you this is the same thing, but the Straight Talk model with the US Cellular backplate. And this one's the same thing, but Straight Talk and 32 gigabytes. Moving over. This is a Moto G7 Play. I tried to custom ROM it, but it doesn't have the right numbers. It's in pretty mint condition, like very good condition. I got this on eBay a while ago. It is a 32 gig running Android 9. So, pretty nice phone. I believe it has 2 gigabytes of RAM. This is one of the first Motorola's. Well, actually the G6 was, but this has USB-C and everybody was raving about it. So, especially on a Play phone, that's really good. This is the Moto E 2020, the last Moto E phone. This one is unlocked. Pretty bad condition. I tried selling it, but nobody wants to buy it once again. It is a 32 gig running Android 10 with June 1st, 2022 security. These bezels are unbelievably bad on the bottom on this phone. But overall, still pretty good phone. Like, it has terrible specs. 2 gigabytes of RAM. Snapdragon 632 is still kicking, though. But, one gripe everybody was talking about, micro USB. So, yeah. Same thing, but Straight Talk in a little bit better condition on this one. This is a Moto G Power 2021. This is one of my favorite phones in my collection. It's in pretty good condition. And the reason why it's one of my favorite phones is it's running Android 15. I custom ROM this guy to run it. It's unlocked. It's really fast and speedy on this. Like, it just booted up, and look at how fast this phone is. There is no lag. It saved this phone like crazy. This phone runs so good. So, as you may have guessed, by the way, this is a 64 gig. If we go into About Phone, Android 15, Lineage OS 22.2, July 1st, 2025 security patch. Super, super freaking quick and speedy. This one has 4 gigabytes of RAM and a Snapdragon 662, which runs great on Android 15. I absolutely love this phone. It's a great phone. Next up, this is when Motorola started sucking. This is a Moto G Power 2022. It is way worse than this guy. And I have so many rants about this phone. The vibration motor, by the way, doesn't work on this one because I ripped it out. And it's super scratched up, but I don't care. This phone sucks. I always want to get rid of it because it just makes me mad how Motorola went from something so marvelous that you can upgrade to Android 15 to this piece of shit. This thing sucks. Anyways, Android 12, December 1st, 2023 security patch. Terrible screen. This one's a 64 gig with 4 gigs of RAM. And Helio G37. Worst chipset on a phone. Next up, another terrible phone, Moto G Play. Basically this, but worse. If you thought that it could get worse. So let's first look at how long it takes to load settings. Whoops. And by the way, 2023. By the way, this one is locked to Straight Talk. This one is too. Android 13, January 1st, 2025 security patch. So it's still getting security patches. 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage. Terrible, terrible. Helio G37 on this also. Moving over. This is when Motorola started to get good. This is a Moto G Play 2024. This is the Straight Talk model. This is when they started to get very speedy. Let's go ahead and turn that down. This is running Android 14, May 1st, 2025 security patch, which sucks. Wish I would have got Android 15, but Motorola sucks at that. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, and a Snapdragon 680. Finally, a reasonable processor. I wish there was development for this in Lineage OS. There is for this one, but I don't believe my model. And this one got Android 15 anyway. This is a Moto G 2024 Straight Talk. This one's running Android 15, June 1st, 2025 security patch. That's its last update, but at least it got Android 15. Let's go in here. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, which is really good on this phone. Crazy good. And the Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 makes this phone fly through the OS. Oops, Gemini. Power off. This, the Moto G Power 2024 Straight Talk. Again, these are all very good condition because they're brand new. Very good phone with Android 15, June 1st, 2025 security patch. And this one has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. Crazy RAM. Crazy. And same thing with this guy. I don't want to show it again. So, same exact phone. This is the Moto G 2025. This one, unfortunately, has a small little crack right here and is very scuffed up. I thought using it without a case was a good idea. Obviously, it wasn't. So, yeah, it's very scuffed up. But still, a great phone. Android 15, August 1st, 2025 security patch. Where's device info? Right there. MediaTek Dimensity 6300, not a bad chipset. 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. Pretty low, but for $40, definitely worth it. Actually, I'm going to keep this one on. I use it from time to time. This is the same one, but in way better condition. This one's in mint condition. Never been used. Actually, how do I check battery health? Okay, you can on Android 15, by the way. 3 cycle counts. Crazy. Crazy. Barely been used. Next up, this is a Moto G Power 2025. This is Straight Talk. You've seen the unboxing. I got this phone for free with the purchase of a plan. Oh, freaking tripod's a piece of shit. Anyways, this one is running Android 15, June 1st, 2025 security patch. And is running on the same processor, 6300, 1080p LCD screen, unfortunately. 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. Flies and has pretty thin bezels. Oh, forgot to show you the cycle counts, but whatever. This I just got recently. I don't use it though. I should be using it more. This is a Moto G Stylus 2025 Straight Talk. Oh my god, does this screen look good. In-screen fingerprint. Of course, it got the old stylus there. Headphone jack. It flies. Let's actually look at the specs with the stylus. Android 15, July 1st, 2025 security patch. IP68 water resistance, that one too. Crazy good phone. Crazy fast. Snapdragon 6 Gen 3. 1220p screen, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, AMOLED. Absolutely love this phone. Crazy good cameras. 4K video and everything. 68 watt charging. Man, I gotta use this phone more. I'm gonna actually keep it up. Now, another phone, let's move over, that I gotta use more is this. This is my Moto Razr 2024 Lock 2 Straight Talk. Super nice phone. I just don't want to use it too much because I don't want to break it. Because these phones do break very easily. Very nice phone. I love how it folds. Super crazy. I got the visible service on it for 15 days. I might actually switch to this for a little bit in the video. Android 15, June 1st, 2025 security patch. Super nice phone. Very good. Let me know if... Comment down below if you want a video of me maining this for like a week or whatever. Because I would. I will main this for a week if you guys want me to. And by the way... Or, let me know about the stylus too. I could do that. Actually, you know, man. I can main some of these phones. Like, the Straight Talk ones I could put visible in. But not the iPhone for some reason. 8 gigabytes of RAM. 256 gigs of storage. Dimensity 7300X. Very good. Very good. Very freaking good. But only 30 watt fast charging for some reason. Weird. Next up, Samsung. This is a Samsung Galaxy S3. Oh, it died. It might not be booted up. Hold on. That's what it is. There we go. Now this, I've had a lot of memories with. It's running Nova Launcher. I wish I could custom ROM it, but it's a Straight Talk one, so they're hard to custom ROM. Not too much development for it also. But this one is very useless because it's running Android 4.1.2 and it won't update. I don't know how to update it. So barely any apps are compatible with it. I don't even know if NewPipe works. Let's go ahead and see. I don't believe it does. Let's try to search that one, Apple guy. See if NewPipe even... No. So, NewPipe don't even work, the YouTube client, so it's very useless. It's a 4 gigabyte. And yeah, so let's go ahead and look at CPU-Z. Snapdragon S4. Would it be under device? Yeah. No, don't cancel. Yeah, 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, no, it's a 16 gig, so that's pretty good. But yeah. Pretty useless phone. I don't know why Wi-Fi's on. Shut up. Hate TouchWiz. How should I do this? Like, I'll just keep it up, whatever. This is a Galaxy S7. This one's Lock 2 Straight Talk. By the way, that one is too. I replaced the backplate. It has very good burn-in. Very bad burn-in. But still pretty good phone. Still pretty usable. It's running Android 8.0.0. And still pretty speedy. As you can see, it's flying through freaking Samsung Experience. 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage. Still pretty usable. 1440p screen. Snapdragon 820, still pretty usable, so still pretty usable phone. Oh, and by the way, I just want to show you the massive amount of charge cycles. Oh, I don't have the app, but it's like 900 or something stupid like that. Yeah, I don't have... Oh, it shows in here. 993, crazy charge cycles, but it still holds a really good charge for some reason. So, that's cool. This is a Galaxy S7 also. Fair condition, not too good, but it's Verizon. Zero burn-in, though. That's what makes this one special. Again, Android 8.0.0. Very good condition. Whoops. Screen-wise, I mean very good condition. What the hell? Just show me the... I'm getting pissed. Snapdragon 820, 1440p, 4 gig, 32. 354 charge cycles, so not too many. This is a Galaxy J3 Luna Pro. Very bad condition. As you can see, it has cracks in the back plate. And it has a Duracell battery. I didn't even know they made phone batteries. And this does not like to click on. But, yeah, very bad phone. It has an LCD. Usually they had AMOLEDs on these back in the day. But it's not a J3 Luna Pro, but they also called it that. This is a J3 Eclipse Verizon. And it has that back plate where, you know, it turns into goop over time. It's already doing it, so that's fun. Somehow, it has a newer version than the S7, 8.1.0. Yeah, where's the... Oh, right here. Snapdragon 425. 1.5 gigs of RAM. Wow, I didn't even know it was that bad. And 16 gigs of storage. Yeah, it doesn't say battery cycles, but pretty bad phone. Okay, next up, Galaxy J3V, walk to Verizon. Pretty nice phone, actually, still. It's running One UI. One UI 1.1, Android 9. Oh, there's no device info. Whatever. Exynos chipset. Does it say? No. Cool. 16 gig, 2 gigs of RAM. Moving over. This is a Galaxy S10 Plus. There's all sorts of issues with this. There's a green line on the bottom. I put tape. It's cracked along this side. And the back is shattered. But it's still a very nice phone. This phone's very usable. I could actually main this for a little while. But with all the issues, it's not worth maining. But I would main an S10 if it was in good condition. One UI 3.1, Android 11. Another weird thing about this phone, it's supposed to get Android 12. This one didn't. It sucks. Verizon did, or no, this is Spectrum. Spectrum did that. So this says it's up to date. But still pretty good phone. I don't know the charge cycles, but very nice phone. This is a Galaxy A10e. US cellular model. Kind of good condition. Back's a little scratched up, but the screen's in very good condition. It is running Android 11, One UI 3.1, and Exynos chipset, and doesn't say battery health. It's a 32 gig with 2 gigabytes of RAM. Come on. I got it when it came out. Or a year after, I believe. Something like that. It's around then. Galaxy A01. Very crappy phone. This is straight talk. I got it, and I cracked it, and then I bought another one. So, whatever. So, let's go ahead. Oops. One UI 4.1, Android 12. Crazy how this gets Android 12, but my S10 Plus don't. And Snapdragon 439. Terrible. Terrible. 16 gigs and 2 gigabytes of RAM. Yuck. Bad phone. Another bad phone, Galaxy A11. This one's US Cellular. Fine condition. It's running Android 12, One UI 4.1. Still kind of usable, these things, for some things, but Snapdragon 450 ain't going to cut it. 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs also ain't going to cut it, but like as a bedside clock or something, maybe. But not really much. Same deal, I'm not going to go over it again. Are you serious? Oh, whatever. Galaxy A12, US Cellular model, and that was just an S21 screen protector on it for no reason. Another shitty phone. Quad cameras though, kind of weird, but they're all shitty cameras. Android 12, One UI 4.1, and if I can find that's CPU-Z, but whatever. MediaTek Helio P35. Android 12, stuff like that. 32 gig and 2 gigabytes of RAM. Same deal. Again, not going to go over it because it's the same thing. This is a Galaxy S21. Fake backplate. SIM card tray works half the time and has a black spot. That's all Backmarket's fault. Blame them. If you want to hear my spiel, go look at the 3 phones for whatever amount. Yeah. Hate you, Backmarket. Never buy from them. I opened this thing up to try and blow this out. I put it back together now, but oh my god, they missed like a million screws. Terrible. But overall, very nice phone still. I love this phone. One UI 7 Android 15 is going to be its last version, unfortunately, which is stupid. They should update it more. I don't even have device info on this. Let me download it. Connect this thing to Wi-Fi. Okay. Open. Snapdragon 888, still very good. 1080p screen. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. Doesn't show battery health, but yeah, still a very good phone. Now I'm going to be getting 10,000 notifications, so let's turn Wi-Fi back off. And yeah, very nice phone. This is a Galaxy A03s. Very bad phone also. Terrible quality phone. By the way, this one's unlocked. Straight Talk. Oh, it takes forever to boot up. Why? Why is this phone so bad? Why? Never buy these really cheap Samsung because they suck. Maybe the new ones are better, but these ones absolutely suck. I don't know why so many people had them. They suck. I don't know how many times I'm going to say they suck, but they do suck. Anyways, the software does also. Oh, never mind. Android 13, One UI 5.1. I always forget I have this phone, though, because it's so bad. They shouldn't have updated it. It's terrible. Terrible phone. Same processor as this guy. I'm not even going to show you. 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigs of storage. This phone's actually pretty good. Galaxy A13, they stuffed a lot of good specs in this thing, which I'll show you in a minute. But you can see it's flying through the OS. One UI 5.1, Android 13. Very good to end it off there, I'm going to be honest. Because it flies through Android 13. And that's in part by, if I find the app, where is it? Are you kidding? CPU-Z. It is a MediaTek Dimensity 700 processor. And it has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, which makes this phone fly. This phone's actually pretty good. This one's not too bad as a Galaxy. By the way, Straight Talk. This is Galaxy A23 5G Boost Mobile. I got for around $50. It has a very nice screen, which we'll go over in a minute. But I'm pissed because this should have got One UI 7 and it didn't. This thing's going to be stuck on Android 14, One UI 6.1, unfortunately. If we find... I don't have it on this either. I don't think. No, I don't. Whatever. Snapdragon 695. Android 14, 64 gigs. 4 gigs of RAM. Not too terrible. This one's pretty nice. This is a Straight Talk Galaxy A53. Still a very good phone nowadays. It has a great chassis. It looks very nice. I love how this phone looks. It's running One UI 7, Android 15. And overall, it's a pretty nice, non-crumulent phone here. Exynos 1280, I know a lot of Exynos haters, but it's not that bad. 1080p screen, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage. Overall, a pretty usable phone nowadays. Next up is the Galaxy S22. It's in absolutely excellent condition. I bought this one off eBay. It's locked to something, I forgot, but I really love this phone. I don't use this one as much as I need to either, but Android 15, One UI 7. Oh, I actually reset this. Why would I do that? Why? Actually, hold on. Anyways, this has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 1080p screen, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and overall, just a very good phone. And yeah, still learning the battery health, but a very good phone. This is a Galaxy A14 5G. This one is US Cellular model. Still not a terrible phone, but it's one of them budget phones where it runs good, but it's kind of shit. So Android 15, One UI 7, but it runs so good. Even on this latest version here. Dimensity 700, same thing as the A13, and even on One UI 7, this processor is good. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. Flies through the OS. Crazy. This is the same thing, but Straight Talk and on Android 13. I never updated this thing, so this thing really flies through. Crazy speed. Let's go ahead, go into settings. Just show you to confirm. Android 13, One UI 5.1. I don't have device info on this, but it's the same specs. Moving on. This is a Galaxy A15 5G. This is unlocked. I'm going to replace the charging port, but it's a cheap one. This I left on One UI 6 because why not? I wanted one of them on One UI 6. So One UI 6.1, Android 14. Runs faster, I think. I feel. Dimensity 6100 plus processor. I just love One UI 6. I don't know. I know I'm, feasing One UI 7, but once you have it for a little while, you're like, oh, One UI 6 was so good. Look at this nice layout. Anyways, 1080p screen, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. Very nice. Same deal, but US Cellular model and One UI 7. Same deal. And same deal, but I use this one a little bit, and it's Straight Talk and 64 gigs. And I'll keep this one on. This is a Galaxy A25 locked to boost, as you can see, boost. Mint condition, still has the wrapping on the side, excellent condition. I bought it for around 60 bucks. I got a really good deal, and that's around when it came out. One UI 7, Android 15, runs super nice. That's part due to the Exynos 1280, so same chipset as the A53. And 1080p screen with 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. How do I turn this thing off? There we go. This is a Galaxy A35. This I have the visible SIM card in. I haven't activated it yet, though. But it's in excellent condition. Straight Talk. Love this phone. Super fast. I'm actually thinking of maining it. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Should I switch from my Pixel 8a to a Galaxy A35? One UI 7, Android 15. Runs super well. Exynos 1380. 1080p screen. 6 gigs of RAM. 128 gigabytes of storage. So, kind of cool. How do I turn this off again? Galaxy, oh, I can unplug this now. A16 5G, this one's unlocked. Excellent condition, works perfectly fine. I kind of use this as my secondary, pretty nice phone. Running, oops, not developer options. One UI 7, Android 15. And Exynos 1330, 1080p screen, 4 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigabytes of storage. So pretty bad specs. Not the greatest, but kind of usable. Next up, this is LG. This is an LG Lucky. This was my first ever phone. Very weird. I believe it's a 4 gigabyte. Let's go ahead and check that. Yep, 4 gig. And it's running Android 4.4.2. So actually more usable than the S3. This is an LG Optimus Zone 3. Works perfectly fine. It's funny, I put this in water for 30 minutes and nothing happened to it. Like, it's perfect. Excellent condition. Look at this. Zero moisture at all. Like, it's crazy. Water got in this, but it evaporated and it's working perfectly fine. It's so weird. Android 5.1.1 works perfectly fine. 8 gig. Galaxy K8S US cellular model. By the way, this is Verizon. This is Straight Talk. This one works perfectly fine. Android 8.1.0. 16 gigs of storage. And I believe it's 2 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, 2 gigs. This is an LG Expression Plus 2, locked to AT&T. I got this from Mercari. I did make a video on unboxing it. Not a terrible phone. It's running a Microsoft launcher. Still kind of slow, though. Android 9. And Helio P22. 720p screen, 2 gigs of RAM, and only 16 gigs of storage. Next up, this is a BlueView 5. This phone's absolutely terrible. It's one of them really cheap Straight Talk phones. It's locked Straight Talk. And yeah, it's terrible. Unusable. E-waste. Barely runs. I hit this thing so many times because it lags and freezes. Android 14. I don't have the app, but yeah, 64 gigs of storage. I think it's 3 gigs of RAM, but it's not worth it at all. Shut up. This is an HMD Vibe. Not the worst phone in the world. That's the same processor as that Moto G Play right there. Face unlocks, very good. Another one of them cheap phones, Straight Talk, but it's pretty reasonable. Android 14. And yeah, again, Snapdragon 680. But this one has 3 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. So 1 less gig of RAM from that Moto G Play, but still pretty reasonable. Kind of weird it has an always-on display on an LCD. This is a OnePlus Nord N200 5G. Very nice phone. I really love it. OnePlus, please bring back the Nord series in the US. Very nice phone. Freaking love it. It's running Android 12. Super quick. Snapdragon 480. 1080p screen. 4 gigs of RAM. 64 gigs of storage. Flies. Just flies. Very nice phone. I forgot how to turn it off. Is it this or is it this? It's that. It's kind of cool, the volume's on the left side. Moving on to the Pixels. This is a Pixel 3a running Android 15. It's Lineage OS. Again, flies through the OS. You can not even see it opening. Like, kind of crazy how fast this thing is. Unbelievably good Pixels. This thing, blur that, it's shattered. I got it for 25 bucks, which is an excellent deal. It's unlocked. Again, Android 15, Lineage OS 22.2. Snapdragon 670, 1080p screen, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. Flies. How do I turn? Oh. Pixel 6a is locked to Straight Talk. They can charge more. This is running. If I go in here, blur that. Frig, I hate when I say blur that because now I can blur it. Android 16, July 5th, 2025. Security patch. This is like QPR2 or whatever. Tensor G1, 1080p, 6 gigs of RAM, Samsung, and 128 gigs of storage. Next up, Pixel 7a. This is running not the QPR whatever. It's just running standard Android 16. Runs very nice. I don't use this thing at all. Spectrum, Tensor G2 chipset, 1080p screen, 8 gigs of RAM, Samsung again, and 128 gigs of storage. And 56 charge cycles. So very low. Oh, let's actually flip these over. And lastly, this is my Google Pixel 8a, my main phone. Pretty good condition, like excellent condition. Brand new screen because it got replaced because it had a spot, so it was under warranty. Unlocked. You got it for a really good price at $200. It's running Android QPR2 beta. If I can find where it says, Android Baklava. Whatever that means, but it's 16. And Tensor G3, 1080p screen, 8 gigs of RAM, which is Micron, and 128 gigs of storage with 106 charge cycles. Let me show you the battery health. I should have showed you that on the other two. Forgot that it shows that. Or actually, they don't have battery health. This is the only phone with it. 98% battery health, not terrible. So, that is my full phone collection for August 2025. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Do whatever you guys want. And, peace.